We're making good progress with our Bootstrap template, and now we've taken care of the home page. We're now going to move on to the additional pages, starting with the blog. In the last section, we created a link to a blog page, but we've not created any content just yet. If we take a look at the finished site, which is just here, and if we go to one of the blog links, this is what the blog is going to look like. We'll have a header section, which is going to be the same as the index page. Also the footer, which will also be the same to keep the theme more consistent. And then the blog is going to consist of our posts on the left in an 8-column container. We'll also have some links to the previous and next page, and also a 4-column sidebar on the right hand side. All the content which we add at the moment on this page is just for show. It's basically a template that we can hook up to WordPress with later on. Over in Visual Studio Code, we can create the blog.html page. Let's close this down. And we can do this in the root of the project alongside the index. So this is going to be called the blog.html. Pull this out into the root of the project. There we go. So make sure this is alongside the index. And the first thing I'm going to do is copy all of the content from the home page. So select all, copy, and then paste this into the blog. This will allow us to keep the same footer and header sections, and we can just delete all the content from inside. So I'm going to delete just above the footer. Let's select this container. And we can go all the way up to the closing header tag. Quite a bit of content to remove here. There's the header, the nav, and everything just below this header tag here. We can remove this. Give that a save, and then we can see if this is okay in the browser. We can go to our blog and make sure we just have the header and the footer area looking like this. If yours looks like this, we are good to go, and we can start customizing. So we're going to add the author. So we can say this is by. We can add an author's name inside of a link. I'm going to add my name inside of here. And the link can just have an empty href at the moment. Again, we'll fix this in WordPress later on. Then we can add another p element just below, just with some sample data in here. So we can just type in lorem and get the sample text from VS Code. Okay, so let's check this out over in the browser. reload, and we have our first blog post. Again, the content doesn't matter at the moment. We'll be adding all this in using the WordPress dashboard. The next thing to do just after this date is I'm going to add a small section to display any tags associated with the blog post. And just make sure that the A element is closed off. And there we go. So let's create a section just below this. This is going to be a div. We can add some padding on the bottom by adding a class of PB and a value of 2. This will just give this some spacing from the text. Inside of here, we can use Font Awesome with the I element. And this will provide a tag icon. So this will be the solid type with FAS. And then FA, and the icon is called tags. Just after this, we can add a P element. And this is going to have the text of tagged. And then we'll just add some sample tags inside of here. This again will be generated by WordPress later on. This little icon in the middle is the tilde, and you may need to look around on your keyboard for this one, but you can add any icon inside of here. Let's save this. And first of all, we can add a class. The inline makes the P element inline rather than the default or block level. This will keep the tags that we add in here on the same line as our icon just above. And check this out. Reload the browser. There's our Font Awesome icon. And then we can have our tags just afterwards in line. So this is looking very good. So to add some more content, I'm going to copy and paste in this blog post. So if we go to our div, which is surrounding all the content here, copy this in. Make sure we're still between the col SM8 element. And then paste this in 2 more times. To round things off for this video, some buttons at the bottom of the posts to jump through the older and newer pages, just like we have in the finished version here. So over to our blog.html, and just after our last blog post that we added, the previous and next page is going to be inside of a nav element. This nav element is going to be an unordered list with the Bootstrap class of nav. The unordered list will have our 2 list items. The first one is going to be for next page. And then copy and paste this in. And this one is going to be for previous. Then over to the browser, reload. Okay, there's our links now. So we can just add a space in between with HTML entity. So ampersand, non-breaking space. And there we go. Our blog's now starting to take shape. And notice how we've contained the blog post to 8 columns wide. This will give us 4 columns to work with for the sidebar in the next video.